ルフィ君の修行中、女たちの出入りは厳禁だ。
なぜそういうことをそなたに決める権利があるのじゃ、レイリー。
Guys, one of the funniest moments in One Piece happened in the moments before the time skip where we saw Luffy leave to train with Rayleigh, who prevented women from going to that island. This made the Serpent Empress furious, as she wanted to stay by Luffy's side. However, there is something that makes me uncomfortable in all of this, which is Luffy's lack of interest in Boa Hancock, and worse than that, we have Rayleigh, who apparently did not realize this naivety on Luffy's part, since Rayleigh is a married man and lived alongside several pirates who also had their wives. Is this the ultimate proof that Luffy is naive? Could it be that Rayleigh realized that Hancock wanted to be with Luffy and that's why he prevented her and other women from going to the island where he and Luffy were? Or did not even the Dark King notice the salience in Hancock's words? Well, we're going to analyze all this in today's video. Hey my dear pirates, you are on channel Straw Hat's One Piece Theories. So if you want to be a pirate king like me and achieve eternal glory, go ahead and press the like button with all the power of your devil fruit. And if you're new here my dear pirate, already subscribe to the channel and don't forget to activate the notifications bell so you don't miss any new video. Okay? Then join this crew that will dominate the entire Grand Line and the New World. Now without further ado, let's get to this epic video. And well my dear pirate, about Luffy's naivety, well, I believe you already know my opinion, but it's always good to remember. In a previous video we commented on Luffy's childlike mentality and how Oda develops the character in relation to women in One Piece. Especially if we look at the relationship between Luffy and Nami or Luffy and Boa Hancock. Oda ended up revealing in an SBS that Luffy is still a man whether he wants it or not, so he likes women and their bodies, especially when he sees Nami or Hancock as they came to the world, if you know what I mean. Of course, Oda used an excuse to escape the questions by saying that these actions of Luffy, when he acts in a more malicious way, happen mainly when he is next to Usopp, and that both would be like two young people in an amusement park. But I believe that actually Oda likes to demonstrate that even though Luffy is essentially a comic character to the point of literally being a clown in many moments, still, he has natural feelings that any human being has. And that's really cool because it humanizes the character even more. But back to the main question of the video, if Luffy only acts in this malicious and perverted way when next to Usopp or for some other reason, then is it valid to say that Luffy is indeed a naive character? And if that's true, why is he like that? Well, Oda also answered that question, or almost. A fan asked Oda why Luffy doesn't have many thought bubbles, and Oda replied that when drawing Luffy, he was trying to make it very simple and straightforward about what he wants to be and how he feels, which is why out of all the main characters, Luffy has the least number of thought bubbles, since he acts and says what he wants to do instead of thinking. It is a very interesting approach from Oda in relation to the protagonist of his story. Being more direct and decisive of what he wants is an important feature of Luffy, and that makes fans love him more and more. That is, my dear pirate, it's not that Luffy is literally naive, he just doesn't think much about what he's going to say and acts in a completely sincere way, so when he sees Nami and Hancock without clothes and apparently he shows something for Nami at that moment and in another he doesn't show it for Hancock, doesn't mean that he doesn't really feel anything. He feels it, but the way he will react or show it will depend on his state of mind at the moment. Well, looking at it that way until Oda's answer about Usopp's influence on Luffy making him more malicious might make some sense, wouldn't it? And about evil, well, Luffy is a character with a good heart, he is indeed a kind character, but yes, he, like everyone else, has his moments of evil, of course not to the point of doing completely horrible things, but he does one thing or another. This is normal and demonstrates once again that he is not naive. If the subject is food, things become even clearer on the question of Luffy being or not someone naive. Well, for jokes and food he is really a genius, and in his fights he, like Goku, develops and learns within them. But about women, that's what I said in the other video. Imagine you, being a man or a woman, being inside this universe where you and your group that only have beautiful women and muscular men, all being of legal age, do you really think that nothing would happen? I finished the video with this question for you. And it's definitely clear to me, Luffy isn't really naive. But before we finish, we have to talk about Rayleigh. Why is it that he never said anything about the passion that Boa Hancock feels for our protagonist? After all, great passions, beautiful women and, of course, loving relationships were also part of his life and in the lives of other pirates like Roger and even Usopp's father. I think it would be interesting if Oda put some line in Rayleigh's mouth about this too, and yes, I know One Piece's focus is not on love relationships, but it would be interesting if Rayleigh was not only Luffy's master in questions about struggles and powers. He could be a great teacher about women and love. I want to know your opinion about everything we commented here today. But of course, if you made it this far, it's because you like the content, so it doesn't hurt to subscribe to our channel and become one more member of our fleet, my dear pirate. And of course, do not forget to press the like button, that helps a lot in spreading the video and the channel, so help us to become the largest fleet of pirates here on YouTube, okay? A big hug for everyone. And until the next video.